All right, CBS Sports, 3 questions for each AFC team before training camp. And I'll give you all 3 of these, and then we can go through them as time permits. How will Odell Beckham fit into the Browns' offense is one. Is Cleveland's interior defensive line good enough? We've kind of talked about that a little bit. And can Jadeveon Clowney be the Robin to Myles Garrett's Batman? Go ahead and start with that one.
Yeah, I think he can. The one thing to remember about Jadeveon Clowney, he, by all accounts, and everything we've seen from him in the NFL, has he lived up to his billing when he came into the league as a number 1 overall pick and an extremely disruptive guy? I don't know if he has. However, he's a great defensive end against the run, and that's big. Just because you were drafted number 1, those expectations get thrown on you like crazy, and that's understandable. You were the first guy taken in the draft. But if you don't achieve that superstar level, doesn't mean that you're still not a really good football player. And I think he's a really good football player. So I think without question, he and Myles together can be a great tandem on the defensive ends.
Yeah, as long as he's healthy, boy, I would not want to be a quarterback with those 2 guys, even lining up together or aside. And then let's finish, because we've already kind of addressed the interior defensive line. Let's finish with how will Odell Beckham Jr. fit into the Browns offense? My thought on this, and you can disagree if you want, Kevin Stefanski's a really bright guy. He saw what we saw, and he'll find a way to use the skill set Odell has, which is pretty elite.
He better. Take a look at the talent on this offense. Who are your best playmakers? I personally think there are 3 of them: the 2 running backs and Odell, and that's pretty. I think pretty obvious. I think Jarvis is really good too, but I think Odell's a more dynamic wide receiver. Doesn't mean that Jarvis isn't equally as good, but I think Odell brings a different perspective to this. I think they'll make him fit and make it work. But I keep going back to everybody saying, Dave, Baker's trying to force the ball to Odell, and Odell's pouting because he didn't get the ball, and blah, 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 and they're better without Odell. I don't believe that. I don't think that. I've always liked Odell Beckham, but I do want to see him really, really work in this offense. And I think we've seen that at times. We just haven't seen it all the time when Odell's been here, when Baker's been here, when Kevin Stefanski's been working with those guys. So I don't know exactly who has to do what there. All I know is it needs to be better than what we've seen.